guys, today in this video I'm going to be rating every TES tower that I have in my inventory out of 10. So first thing to start off, well first alright, there, now that we got that set, let's get back into the video. So turret, I'm going to rate this tower a 10, like an 8 out of 10. I think this is a really good tower, except the downside on this is that it's more expensive than Accelerator, and it does less DPS than Accelerator. And also, Accelerator, you get hidden detection before this tower. And honestly, it is a good level 50 tower, but it's a little bit expensive, so that's why I'm rating it an 8 out of 10. Alright, next up, Commander. Now, this is a pretty solid tower, guys. I mean, even though it got nerfed like a while ago, like it went from like 100% or it doubled the fire rate, it now does it by 55%. But still, this is actually still a really helpful tower. I'm going to give it a 8 also, like turret. I think it's really good, but the other thing though is that Commander does not have. I also forgot to mention about the turret, but it has a lot of range at max. It has 26 range. And if you combine it with DJ, it's gonna have the range of like a ranger. Or like, no, a maxed out mortar. Like, that's really good range, by the way. Alright, now Commander has like 20 range, so it's pretty decent. I like the fire rate buffs. It's really good. At least it doesn't have a placement limit. Like, turret literally has a placement limit. But anyways, I give this tower a 8 out of 10. It does damage sometimes, but not really. Alright, let's move on to Cowboy. Alright, Cowboy. I am going to give this tower a 7 out of 10. I mean, it is a really good tower, but you have to triumph it on Badlands Fallen mode. And trust me, I've only beat this like 4 times, okay? So from my experience, this is pretty hard, honestly. And also, like, normal Cowboy doesn't like do like what? Like about 40 DPS? I don't know. Wait, I'm gonna check. Be right back. It does how much DPS? I knew it did low DPS. I knew it. It's not even that much. It only does 35 DPS. Yeah. At least the Golden Cowboy's pretty decent. I'll give it. I'm actually gonna rate it lower than a 7. I'm gonna rate it a 6. Alright. Moving on, but the Golden Cowboy though, I'm gonna be rating that an 8. That's a good tower. It's a good DPS tower, and it's like pretty cheap, honestly, kind of. All right, Crook Boss. This tower is a really good early defense tower. The only thing I think it would struggle on, honestly, is like maybe like the slow boss, like Molten Boss. Yeah, that's what it would struggle on. But other than that, this tower is getting a 7.5 out of 10. This is actually a really good tower because it can summon in minions. And I mean, without the minions, I'm pretty sure the Crook Boss does somewhere around 50 DPS. And I'm going to be checking that again if it does have 50 DPS. Alright, so the minions have 9.62 DPS. It has 44.3 DPS. So basically, this tower is kind of like as expensive as the Militant, and it does less DPS. Or no, it has less range. Yeah, that's the downside on Crook Boss, though. It has literally no range, honestly. So I'm going to be rating this a 7.5. All Alright, next tower. The DJ. I'm definitely rating this a 10 out of 10. I mean, it's like 18,000 cash, but like, man, this tower is so good. It has a lot of range. And it also does so many good things. My favorite buff, there's two buffs this DJ can give. One is a range buff by 35%, and two is a discount buff by 20%. So it makes things cheaper. So this is a really good tower for if you're doing like any hard things. Alright, Demo Man. Yikes. I think this is probably the worst tower so far, honestly. It's not, I mean, it's an okay tower. It's just that it does not have hidden detection, so that's the problem. I'm gonna rate this like a 4.5 out of 10. And it also it only does like 10 DPS at max with like only 14 range. I'd say Scout is almost better than this tower, actually. So, yeah, this is not a good tower. Actually, I'm rating it lower than a 4.5. I'm going to be rating this a 3.5. It is not very good. Okay, don't mind that. Alright, next tower. Farm. Farm, I am going to also be rating this a 10 out of 10. This is literally the definition of getting maxed out accelerators. Like, this is what helps me get all those accelerators. And also, I forgot to mention about the Neko DJ, this thing. I'm rating this a -1 out of 10. Trash skin. I only used it for trolling people. Alright. Farm is a 10 out of 10. There's no reasons why. It's just flat out amazing. Freezer. Oh god, this is literally like the worst tower in the game. Yikes. Don't buy this, guys. At least it doesn't have a placement limit. But I'm gonna be rating this like also a 0. Like this tower literally does only like 2 DPS at max. And it barely freezes enemies. And at max, it has the range of a militant without any upgrades. So that's kind of sad, honestly. That's pretty sad. Alright, moving on to the Hunter. Hunter is pretty decent. I'll give it a 6 out of 10. It's not bad. It's not really... But the good thing about this tower is it has a lot of range at max. Like, I think it has more range than a minigunner. I think it has like 22 range. But the only bad side about this is that it does not do that many DPS. So it's like an archer tower that has a lot of range, but it doesn't do that much DPS. And I think this tower, if I'm correct, does like about like almost 15 DPS, so it's not the best. Alright, moving on to Militant. I'm going to be giving this tower an 8.5. This is definitely a good tower, in my opinion, because it has a really good fire rate. It has the range of a minigunner, and I think Militant is honestly more reliable than minigunner sometimes, because you lose less health if you're only using this. But, you know, I'll do that another time, like a Militant versus minigunner maybe. Alright, Medic. I mean, it's an okay tower. I do like how it like heals from it, and it cleans his stuns, and like in its range. I mean, it's kind of like Crook Boss. It does not have that much range exactly, but it has more range. I think it has 18 range at max. The only other problem, though, about this tower is it's kind of expensive. Like, if I show you this in my inventory, look, it's 900 cash. That is a lot. But, I mean, some of these towers, like here, like the turret, are, like, literally 4,000 cash. Alright, I'm moving on. I'm giving Medic a, I'll give it a 5.5 out of 10. It's okay. Military base. I am going to be giving this a 7. It's a good tower. even though there's not that many skins, I still think that this is a really good tower, honestly. And it also spawns, I mean, even though it has a placement limit of 5, this thing can spawn in 5 railgun tanks. And 5 times 1,200 is like 6,000. So it does like 6,000 ram damage. So it can take out a tank. So that is definitely very strong. Alright, I'm giving this I'm giving it a 7.5. Alright, moving on to Minigunner. Minigunner, I'm gonna be giving it maybe a 8, or no, 9. I'm giving this a 9. Well, the golden skin got nerfed, I think, maybe. It has pretty good range, though. It doesn't have as much range as turret, but I still accept its range. I mean, I know it's like 2,000 cash, but like it still does a lot of DPS at max. And I think with the rate of fire bug, it sadly does only 40 DPS. But so without it, I think it does like around 80, so it's good. Alright, I give this an 8 out of 10. Mortar. Kind of like Freezer, not a great tower, honestly. I'm giving this a 2 out of 10. It's kind of like another trash tower with a placement limit. Except if you cluster a bunch of freezers, I think you can do 900 damage or something like that. I'll give it a 2 though, because it has a very slow fire rate. And also, guys, next tower, Ranger Boy. Ranger's the godly tower. I am going to give this a 10 out of 10. It's kind of overpriced, but, you know, Ranger, kind of is good. Alright, guys. I'll do a part 2 on this. I'm giving Ranger a 10 out of 10. And anyways, guys, bye, guys. Thank you for watching. See you next time.